This week on Twende, we continue our journey in Olkaria. We will show you how steam is drilled from the ground. We get to meet the people behind the wheel. Okay, joystick. Hey, rigs huwa hazina steering, sindio? Ako kakitu ka kukontrol kanaitwaje tena. We will learn that too. How does a geothermal station look like from the inside? Let's discover inside the biggest one in the country. We will learn how this station, Olkaria 1 Unit 6, is about to make history in Kenya. And you know me, mahali pana maji ya blue, ni lazima tuogelee.
So welcome to the geothermal spa. Heated pool.
I get to swim in Africa's biggest natural spa. Last week, we started our journey in Olkaria. We learned of the origin of the name Olkaria.
Kwa Kimasai, sisi tunaita Olkaria.
Olkaria.
We got to meet with a geophysicist.
So Olkaria is a volcano. It's a volcanic center.
Yeah.
So that means that there is some magma close to the surface, and it's the one responsible for this heating up of the groundwater.
Yeah.
We got to visit Kenya's youngest volcano, Ololbutot. Sasa tuliwachia hapo mahali umesha prepare your rig, and now you are about to drill. So you have assembled your rig and you are sure there are real degrees underground. Hapo ukicheza na fake degrees, hautapata power. Drilling is one of the most expensive undertakings in getting geothermal power. It costs about 600 million shillings to drill one well. Yet moja tu. To reduce on this cost, Kengen acquired 3 rigs to lower the costs. They are now used all over the country and even in the region on a full-time basis. In the early days, the geothermal sector was dominated by expatriates, but that has changed over the years.
A long time ago, it was expatriates who are usually operating machines. Now I see it's mostly Kenyans, yeah? What was that transition to Africa happen?
Okay, basically, the past to consulted expatriates for the services of drilling to generate the geothermal steam.
Yes.
But at the moment, we are doing the drilling services ourselves.
Yeah.
We have reached the level at which we are number 8 in the world. And
number 8 in the world?
Yes. And the top geothermal company in Africa.
In Africa, oh wow. Okay.
So we are at the extent whereby now we are in some countries we're being called the foreigners.
Sasa hao wenye walikuwa hapa sasa nyinyi mumetake your opportunity pia kuwa the same in another place.
We are the pioneers in Africa.
You are the pioneers in Africa.
Exactly.
Haya, so hii drilling rig sasa kwa sababu ya bei ya mafuta imepanda. Tunaweza tumia hii ku drill oil.
Basically a drilling rig is a drilling rig.
Oh, so drilling rig ni drilling rig.
Yes, yes. So in some countries where oil exploration is taking place, they use a similar facility, similar apparatus to drill for oil. Only the procedures may differ from what we do in geothermal.
Geothermal has come a long way from how it was led. Having local-owned rigs has led to something even the early pioneers could probably never have foreseen. Meet the boss in charge of this rig.
I'm Brenda Nyota. I'm a drilling engineer at Kengen. We drill wells up to 3,000 meters, that is about 3 kilometers, and we drill them in 4 sections. Before we drill a well, we start by mobilizing a rig. This takes 10 days to dismantle the machine you see behind me and assemble it again and get it back up. And then after that, we take 55 days to drill the well up to the 3,000 meters. Okay, what we have here is a kelly. The kelly, the hexagonal pipe is used to rotate the whole string. How we drill is we apply weight at the bottom of the well. So the rig hoists the string, and by lowering it, we're able to apply weight, and also by rotating. And through those two actions, we remove the rock at the bottom of the well. And then we pump in water through what is called a string, goes down, and the water is used to wash out the cuttings, the crushed rock that is removed. The driller sits in that console, is the one controlling the rig, is the one who's operating the rig.
This may look easy kuskuma haka kakitu, lakini it is a delicate job, as one wrong move could cost you millions of dollars. By the way, haka kakitu kanaitwa handbrake for the drawworks. Hii ndio steering ya hii machine yote. It moves the drill up and down, and it is manned 24/7. Hapa hakuna autopilot.
And we also have the crew. They always work, they operate the machine that is out here. They work on a 12-hour shift. Drilling does not stop. Even at night, we continue drilling. And we do this up to the end of the well.
As the person in charge of this rig, Nyota is tasked with ensuring the drilling is carried out efficiently and safely.
I understand that drilling is a male-dominated field, but in Kengen we have a number of ladies in the department, in the drilling department. The colleagues are very supportive, and this makes it easier. What I would like to tell girls who would like to join the field of engineering is that it is possible to work and excel in this field. It is becoming, by and by, a less male-dominated field because women are joining in, and women can do a good job.
After a successful drill, the well is capped with a valve awaiting connection to a station. Most of the times, the wells do not get connected to the station immediately, and they used to lie dormant for long, waiting for the station to be constructed. In 2009, Kenya was the first country in the world to pioneer wellhead technology.
So a wellhead is a small plant, it's a miniature plant of 5 megawatts or 10 megawatts or even 15 megawatts. They are all considered wellhead. So the one we have behind us is a 5.5 megawatt wellhead plant. We have a 132 line that runs from Olkaria to Narok to Bomet. Every single megawatt that you generate, you can power 3,000 houses. So the wellhead behind us can generate 5.5 megawatts. The 0.5 is what they use to run the fans that you can see behind us. Okay? So the 5 megawatts net that this export to the grid can power 15,000 houses. A town like Narok would be sufficient to supplied by the power from our wellhead.
The total power generated from these small stations at Olkaria alone is 56 megawatts. That is power that would be idle waiting for the plant to be built, but it is now contributing to cheap renewable energy thanks to this technology. Once construction of the main plant is complete, the wellheads are removed so that steam from the well can then feed into the main plant. That is where these pipes come in. Olkaria has a network of pipes and tubes that crisscrosses the complex, directing steam from the more than 300 wells to the 6 stations.
We are very much aware that you're inside a park, and it requires to be conserved. The natural resources require to be conserved. That's the animals, and also the habitat, that's the vegetation. So then we need to coexist, develop geothermal, and at the same time conserve nature.
Siharibu nyumba ya wengine.
Yes, for really.
Ukiangalia hapa, hizi ni pipe, and not just pipes, these are steam pipes. Geothermal wells zinapeleka all the way to the power stations, converted, zinakuwa electricity. Now you're probably wondering, mbona zimewekwa huko juu? Pipes sana sana zinakuanga chini. But you have to remember, this is a park. Huku ni kwa wanyama. Huku si kwetu, ni kwa wanyama. And therefore, you have to create a way that the animals can still interact with this land. So wanyama wanga wanaweza kupita hapa. As you can see, it's very high. Some other places, it's high enough for giraffes to pass. Hata hii wakibend tu kidogo, watapita. Na, hii ni chuma. And that's why they've painted it green so that it can blend with the nature, or rather it's not as intrusive. So unaweza sema hii ni bypass ya wanyama ama underpass. Na unajua kama ingekuwa binadamu, hii ingekuwa imejaa posters. But wanyama, you know, they are not too extra. See what I mean?
The steam has to arrive in the plant while it is still hot for it to turn the turbines. There is a reason why geothermal stations take long to build. Hydropower plants are simple. You store your water in a reservoir and release it with a force to turn the turbines below, and you get power like this one in Sondu. Once that is done, the water is released back to the river. Na hiyo story imeisha hapo, sivyo? Geothermal stations, on the other hand, look more like a complicated jet engine. There are all these pipes, pumps and valves all over. Remember, this is steam that is hot enough to turn turbines. When President Kibaki launched Olkaria V, it was the largest plant at the time. But then in 2018, President Uhuru launched Olkaria V, which would be bigger and generate more power than 4. Having been launched in 2017 and completed in 2019 at a cost of 45 billion Kenya shillings for the station alone, this is Olkaria V, and it is the newest station in the complex. Housed inside this building is this turbine that generates 83.5 megawatts, and it is not just one, there are two of them generating 158 megawatts.
Hello. How are you?
Hello. Oh, yeah. So, hii ndio control room.
Yes, control room Olkaria V.
Olkaria V.
Yes, yes.
I've been to Olkaria 1.
Yes.
I've seen so many wells.
Yes.
So, and I've seen so many pipes.
Yes.
Where do they all go?
So, the pipe work we have seen is just a steam gathering from the various drilled wells.
Yeah.
Like we are connected here by 18 production wells.
Okay.
Production to mean that they feed the steam from all the wells.
Yeah.
It's gathered to a common place,
yeah.
And then now we utilize it as a single part.
Okay. Nikisikia steam, alafu nione ma machines kama hizi kwanza, hizo zote zinakaa expensive sana.
Yes.
Naonanga kama kutakuwa na distraction. Basically, kusema there is a lot of information and technique and skill and know-how that goes to, being able even to sit here.
It is automated in a way that it is really controlled.
Yeah.
Any discrepancy in terms of temperature, pressure, anything at all, it always gives us an alarm at a very early stages.
Okay.
Most of these other also equipment like the generator, the turbine, have a very high protection system. And it is automated and it's a machine. It's not like us where maybe you can blink or anything. Once maybe you have set the equipment to default at this current, it will definitely do that. So even when you have something like a fault in the system, before even you realize, the machine is out.
Okay.
So there is nothing to fear.
So there are checks and balances.
Yes, yes.
Geothermal, which literally means Earth's heat, produces a lot of it, and when you are dealing with hot stuff, you need to cool it down before releasing it back into the ground. That is where these coolers come in. All the plants have these buildings called cooling towers. They have huge fans turning on top that suck out the heat. The water will then be pumped back into the ground where it will be heated and rise again as steam to turn the turbines in a cycle that never stops. 24 hours a day, 365 days a year. This is a delicate process because if done in a wrong way, water re-injection into the ground can contaminate groundwater. The wells and stations are not open to visitors, but sometimes there are exceptions. Today, the plant has a special delegation touring the area. Visitors from different African countries are touring the plant on a benchmarking exercise. Kengen generates 705 megawatts while Power, a private company, generates 170, bringing a total of 875 megawatts from all of Olkaria. Kengen's Unit 6 is complete and is undergoing tests before it releases 83 megawatts. This is very significant as it will push Kenya's total geothermal power output to 958 megawatts, jumping from number 8 to 6, overtaking Italy, the first country in the world to generate power using geothermal. Geothermal exploration in Kenya has had its fair share of challenges, with some people being displaced from their land, and this is a concern that should be addressed as the country expands its output. Geothermal also has the risks of causing seismic activity, which can trigger earthquakes like it has happened in other parts of the world. Better monitoring and risk management could help contain this risk. As the population grows and the country continues to industrialize, there is demand for cheap power to satisfy the growing cities and other urban centers. Plans are underway to move the standard gauge railway away from using diesel to electricity, enabling it to switch to a clean energy source. But why stop there? What if we could electrify all the public transport? That may seem like wishful thinking, but the future is here.
And elsewhere, sole electricity distributor Kenya Power is now banking on the launch of electricity-powered public transport means to grow its sales and strengthen its rebound. Speaking during the flagging off of the first electric bus in the country for passenger use in the country, the management of Kenya Power indicated that mass use of electric mobility will create an alternative revenue channel for the company.
There are about 800,000 matatus on the Kenyan roads that consume millions of liters of foreign oil. That is a lot of revenue flowing out to foreign companies that could be used to develop the country.
As the country continues to record high prices of fuel, Kenyans being encouraged to embrace electric vehicles and motorcycles for they're not only cost-effective but also environmentally friendly. Experts have identified the electric vehicles as the way to go in the wake of an acute fuel shortage occasioned by the rising cost of oil globally.
Now that renewable energy can be the main source of power, there is an opportunity to have energy independence. With other projects like Africa's biggest wind power farm in Turkana, Kenya has the aim to depend 100% on renewable energy by 2030. There, however, still is a challenge of high electricity bills, which needs to be tackled to make use of national grid power more appealing to the public. It is not wishful thinking to dream that one day, most if not all of Kenya's transport will be using 100% clean Kenyan energy, with geothermal making up most of it. What started like a science project in the 50s has grown to become the leading energy source in Kenya, and now it holds the key to cheap, reliable energy. 15 megawatts to 875 megawatts. Kweli tumetoka mbali. Na kazi bado haijasimama. Drilling continues full steam ahead, with the next big project being Olkaria 6.
What is the potential of geothermal in Kenya?
The potential of geothermal in Kenya is huge.
Yeah.
We can get up to 10,000 megawatts.
10,000 megawatts.
That is enough power to power the whole country, and sell to our neighbors, the whole of East Africa. From Burundi, Rwanda, Uganda, Tanzania, and Kenya.
And where?
And even we can even sell
even
to
beyond.
Others. Yeah, even beyond.
Olkaria has almost reached its full potential, and new areas are being developed in Menengai, Suswa, and Silale. Geothermal touches our lives in many ways. However, if you come to Olkaria, you can get to touch it literally, or rather, swim in it.
So you know how we do here in Twende. Tukiona maji na tumeambiwa tunaweza swim, we dive. However, here we can't dive. Hapa lazima uende pole pole. Kuna stairs. So, alafu the other time una testingi maji kani baridi. Ni warm. Hey!
Unasema hiyo ni moto.
Hiyo ni moto. And there are stairs. Nasikia kaa naingia bafu. Wow.
Chunga.
Hey. Na hii maji ni blue. Flora. How did you decide Kenya saa lazima tukue na maji warm?
Well, number one, I went to study in Iceland, close to the Arctic Circle. And there they have many hot pools. And one of the pools that fascinated me was the Blue Lagoon.
Blue Lagoon.
So I decided that when I come back home, we're going to create a Blue Lagoon.
And this is naturally occurring, this warm water.
This water is the one that we separated at the wells. And we have delivered it with a pipe that is just behind this fence. And we have tapped a small portion of it. And then allowed it to flush to atmospheric pressure. And local boiling point. And then we have cooled it in 2 different pools. And then it flows to the pool, where you can see these ladies and gentlemen are enjoying themselves.
This is also the biggest heated pool in Kenya. Kwanza huu msimu wa baridi itasaidia sana tena sana. Olkaria is an amazing place. I've traveled to the past and seen how we have come from using stone tools to using one of the most advanced energy sources in the world. I've met the people working hard to make this possible.
Zile ambayo sio special.
And I swam in a spa with water from a geothermal plant. From now henceforth, my view of Vasha has changed. Kumbe hii ni place ya power hivi.